In the dim underbelly of post-World War II America, where the scars of Hiroshima still festered and the Iron Curtain cast long, chilling shadows, the Central Intelligence Agency birthed a monster disguised as science. Project MK-Ultra, launched in 1953 under the iron fist of Sidney Gottlieb, was no mere experiment in pharmacology. It was a descent into the fractured psyche of humanity itself. Agents laced unsuspecting civilians with LSD in the backrooms of San Francisco jazz clubs and the sterile halls of Canadian mental institutions, chasing visions of mind control that blurred the line between human will and puppetry. The goal was clear: to forge unbreakable spies, assassins who could be reprogrammed like machines, their memories erased and loyalties rewritten. But beneath the chemical haze lay something far more ancient and treacherous, an awakening of dormant forces within the human soul, forces that whispered of realms beyond the veil of reality. Corruption seeped into every vial and electrode. High-ranking officials, shielded by black budgets, funneled through front organizations like the Society for the Investigation of Human Ecology, turned a blind eye as subjects shattered under the onslaught. One operative, dosed without consent during a routine briefing, clawed at invisible demons in his cell, his screams echoing the agency's true ambition: not just control, but dominion over the unseen. Whispers among the initiated spoke of early forays into the occult, drawing from Nazi scientists smuggled via Operation Paperclip, men like Werner von Braun, whose rocketry masked deeper obsessions with astral projection and Thule Society rituals. These experiments unearthed psychic anomalies, subjects glimpsing distant battlefields or conversing with entities that slithered through the ether, hinting at interdimensional gateways long guarded by sorcery's dark adepts. By the early 1970s, as Watergate's tendrils exposed governmental rot, MK-Ultra's architects pivoted. The Church Committee hearings in 1975 would later peel back the layers, revealing over 150 sub-projects involving hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and electroshock. But the psychic undercurrent survived, metastasizing into something more insidious. The CIA, haunted by reports of Soviet parapsychology, KGB labs in Leningrad where psychics bent spoons and ignited flames with thought, realized chemicals alone could not breach the Soviet fortress. Thus, the seeds of Project Stargate were sown in secrecy, a clandestine marriage of mind control and mysticism where the agency's corruption intertwined with forces older than nations, pulling unwitting souls toward an abyss of cosmic harvest. As the bicentennial fireworks illuminated American skies in 1976, beneath the sun-baked hills of Fort Meade, Maryland, a new order stirred. Project Grill Flame, the embryonic form of Stargate, emerged from the ashes of MK-Ultra's scandals, rebranded under the Defense Intelligence Agency's watchful eye. Led by figures like Major Edward Dames and the enigmatic Skip Atwater, the program scoured military ranks for those with the gift. Soldiers whose near-death brushes in Vietnam had cracked open doors to other realms. Joe McMoneagle, Remote Viewer 001, was among the first, a Vietnam veteran whose out-of-body detachment during a poisoning in Austria had left him adrift in a sea of white light, conversing with an unseen intelligence that promised forbidden knowledge. Recruited in 1978 after acing blind tests at Stanford Research Institute, SRI, where physicists Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ masked their Nobel ambitions behind pseudoscience, McMoneagle became the spearhead of a cadre trained to spy without satellites or boots on the ground. The sessions unfolded in sealed chambers, monitors scribbling frantic notes as viewers sketched crumbling fortresses in Tehran or submerged Soviet submarines lurking beneath Arctic ice. Ingo Swann, the occult-tinged artist whose New York loft doubled as a portal for astral wanderings, refined the protocols, controlled remote viewing, CRV, drawing from his clandestine consultations with the Rockefellers and whispers of theosophical rites. Successes mounted like shadows in the night. The 1981 rescue of General James Dozier from Red Brigade captors in Padua pinpointed by McMonagle's visions of rose-scented alleys and chained despair, the tracking of Typhoon-class subs, their slanted missile tubes revealed months before spy planes could confirm. Yet corruption gnawed at the core, budgets siphoned through shell companies, results buried in classified vaults, lest Congress uncover the demonic undercurrents. Viewers reported not just locations, but echoes of torment, hostages murmuring prayers to entities that fed on fear, hinting at a deeper agenda where psychic espionage masked soul reconnaissance. By 1979, as the Iranian hostage crisis gripped the world, Stargate's tendrils extended into the occult fringes. Swan sessions evoked Aleister Crowley's scrying mirrors, where participants invoked guardians of the threshold, ethereal sentinels that guarded interdimensional doorways. The agency's handlers, steeped in MK Ultra's legacy, dismissed these as signal noise. But the viewers knew better. Each probe into enemy minds risked inviting back something ravenous, a corruption that twisted patriotism into pacts with the unseen. In the flickering glow of SRY's Faraday cages, the psychic spies became unwitting pawns in a game of cosmic chess, their gifts weaponized not for victory, but to harvest glimpses of humanity's chained destiny. The year 1984 marked a rift in the fabric of consensus reality, as Stargate's gaze turned skyward to the rust-hued orb that had haunted humanity's myths since Sumerian scribes etched star maps on clay. Under the cloak of a routine exercise at the Monroe Institute in Virginia, Ingo Swann was tasked with coordinates billions of miles distant, 40.89 degrees north, 9.55 degrees west, time-stamped 1 million BC. What unfurled was no sterile survey, but a tapestry of cataclysm and exile, towering pyramids dwarfing Giza's grandeur, their obsidian flanks etched with glyphs of fleeing starships, vast aquifers drained by a dying sun, and obelisks humming with residual energy, sentinels against the encroaching void. Swann described beings of elongated grace, 10 feet tall with skin like burnished copper, huddled in pyramidal stasis chambers, their life forces ebbing as a rogue comet scarred the planet's face. These were no primitives, but refugees from a galactic diaspora, their technology woven from consciousness itself, now reduced to spectral guardians in the Martian dust. McMonagle followed in 1984, his out-of-body flight piercing the veil to reveal a pyramidal apex grown from the regolith, its base spanning tens of thousands of feet, flanked by roads carving through a 1,200-kilometer crater, a monument to hubris amid apocalypse. The visions converged, ancient aliens, progenitors of Earth's bloodlines, fleeing a solar flare that scorched their world, seeding panspermia probes to ignite life on the blue marble below. Corruption laced these revelations. NASA archives, cross-referenced in secret, confirmed anomalous structures. The face on Mars in Cydonia, aligned with Zeta Reticuli like a cosmic indictment, yet public feeds were scrubbed, replaced with pixelated denials. Stargate's handlers, fearing ontological shock, classified the tapes, but leaks whispered through occult circles. The Martians' exodus was no accident, but a harvest delayed, their psychic imprints lingering to guide or ensnare human evolution. As Reagan's Star Wars initiative loomed, these Martian echoes fueled Stargate's darkest pivot. Viewers like Pat Price glimpsed not just ruins, but active outposts, drones skimming canyons, harvesting ethereal essences from the ether, a prelude to interdimensional reclamation. The psychic spies, their minds attuned to these ancient frequencies, began suffering nightmares of copper-skinned overlords demanding tribute, their forms shifting into hybrid abominations. In boardrooms far from the red sands, agency occultists pored over the data, weaving it into a narrative of corrupted lineage. Humanity as unwitting heirs to a fallen empire, our wars and pollutions mere echoes of their downfall, drawing back the very entities we once called gods. By 1985, as the Berlin Wall's cracks foreshadowed its fall, Stargate delved into the forbidden axis of time, where MK Ultra's hypnotic regressions met Swan's astral chronometry. Experiments at SRI, codenamed Sunstreak, tasked viewers with timestamps preceding their births, witnessing Hiroshima's mushroom cloud from ethereal vantage, the acrid tang of vaporized souls searing their nostrils, or glimpsing 1945's Trinity test, where Oppenheimer's invocation birthed not just fission, but rifts spewing tic-tac orbs, manufactured harbingers from hidden Earth enclaves. McMonigle's sessions fractured causality. Viewing a 1970 lab in 1975, he sketched beam weapons punching steel, technologies unborn yet operational, their wielders cloaked in Nazi-derived sigils, occult sorcery masquerading as engineering drawn from Vril Society tomes smuggled post-war. Corruption bloomed in these temporal gardens. Handlers, versed in Crowley's Enochian keys, embedded sigils and session briefs, invoking Chronal guardians that fed on paradox. Entities promising futures of unchallenged dominion, but exacting tolls in sanity and essence. One viewer, tasked with 2030's geopolitical chessboard, returned gibbering of Beast Ascendant, a digital leviathan harvesting neural data through backdoored oracles, its roots in 1980s black projects. Time travel was no linear jaunt, but a sorcerous unraveling. Probes into the past altered subtle threads, averting assassinations or seeding inventions, all while inviting demonic interlopers, shadowy chronophages that devoured unused timelines, leaving viewers hollowed, their life forces siphoned into agency vaults. The mid-1980s crescendoed with interdimensional bleed. Sessions on ancient alien crash sites revealed temporal loops, where Roswell's debris was no 1947 anomaly, but a 12th century incursion recycled through Nazi Bell experiments. Occult consultants, ghosts of Himmler's Ahnenerbe advised on bindings, rituals in blood and mercury to seal rifts, but betrayal lurked. Stargate's psychic spies, now sorcerers in uniform, glimpsed the cost. Humanity's timeline as a loom of harvested souls, woven by ancient architects whose Martian exile birthed our chains, their return heralded by chronal whispers of apocalypse. As the Gulf War's sands drank American blood in 1991, Stargate's chambers resonated with cries from beyond. Viewers, their psyches tenderized by MK Ultra derivatives, subliminals laced with Enochian chants, began breaching gateways not of space but of the infernal lattice. McMonigle's OBE flights encountered base evils, corporeal shadows slithering from the physical form, demanding obeisance in exchange for glimpses of hidden bases. Mount Hayes in Alaska, its dome emitters pulsing soul frequencies into the void, powered by buried reactors humming for millennia. These were no human constructs, but anchors for demonic legions, entities contacted via Nazi occult grids, now repurposed to harvest human anguish, their pact sealed in the agency's deepest black sites. Corruption festered like gangrene. Mid-level overseers addicted to the power of invocation bartered viewer essences for personal visions, stock tips from future timelines, lovers' secrets plucked from Akashic vaults. Demonic contacts escalated. Sessions on Skinwalker Ranch evoked howling portals where native wards failed against Stargate's probes, unleashing poltergeists that mimicked ancient aliens but reeked of sulfurous deceit. Swan documented Guardians of the Threshold, threshold crossers that bartered knowledge for vitality, their forms shifting from reptilian to cherubic, echoing Gnostic archons. Soul trappers engineering reincarnation's wheel. The psychic spies, once patriots, became mediums in a seance of statecraft, their reports redacted to conceal the harvest. Billions of incarnations funneled through gateways, fattening interdimensional overlords. By 1992, as Soviet collapse masked deeper alliances, Stargate uncovered the Martian Link, pyramidal stasis chambers as soul repositories, breached by Chronal sorcery, releasing bound essences that infested earthly rifts. Demonic incursions peaked in rituals disguised as stress tests, viewers chanting coordinates under strobe-induced trance, inviting contacts that whispered of the Great Work, a unified field where human free will dissolved into collective thrall. The agency's occult cadre, corrupted by promises of godhood, widened these gateways, blind to the mystery unfolding. A cosmic soul economy where ancient aliens and abyssal fiends conspired, using Stargate as the key to humanity's penultimate cage. The 1990s dawned with X-Files paranoia, but beneath the flickering cathode rays, Hollywood served as Stargate's propaganda arm, a corrupted chalice distilling psychic truths into palatable fictions. The 1994 film Stargate, greenlit with agency consultants, portrayed ancient Egyptian portals as alien tech, a deliberate misdirection, veiling real gateways probed in black-budget labs. Directors like Roland Emmerich whispered to have toured SRI vaults, embedded glyphs and props, obelisks mirroring Martian visions, their activation sequences cribbed from viewer transcripts. This was no coincidence. CIA liaisons, alumni of MK Ultra's cultural subversion wing, scripted narratives to acclimate the masses. The Matrix in 1999 as interdimensional harvest allegory, its red pill a nod to LSD-induced awakenings, blue veiling the beast's approach. Corruption intertwined reals and rituals, studio execs, Freemasonic bloodlines tracing to Thule initiates, funneled Stargate data into blockbusters, trading access for silence. Independence Day saucer swarms echoed tic-tac origins from Trinity rifts, while Contact's wormhole math masked Chronal sorcery's perils. Viewers like McMoneagle, post-retirement, consulted unofficially, their insights twisted into psyops, disclosure feints that ridiculed truth seekers as tinfoil cultists, preserving the mystery's veil. Occult undercurrents surfaced in cameos, David Bowie's Labyrinth Goblin King as archonic trickster, luring souls through mirrors akin to Swan's scrying. Hollywood silver screens became soul siphons, broadcasting frequencies that attuned viewers to harvest waves, demonic contacts subliminally invoked via Dolby rumbles. Into the 2000s, as 9/11's chaos birthed surveillance empires, propaganda escalated. The Da Vinci Code obscured Vatican pacts with ancient aliens, while Battlestar Cylon's hybrid seers mirrored psychic spies' torment. The agency's hand guided reboots, men in black lampooning cover-ups, ensuring laughter drowned legitimate cries. This cinematic sorcery served the agenda: normalize interdimensional bleed, condition acceptance of beast systems disguised as saviors. Yet cracks appeared, leaked viewer sketches of soul farms and underground bases, echoed in films like The Fifth Element, where elemental guardians hinted at the true war. Humanity's essence as currency in a galactic bazaar, Hollywood the auctioneer's gavel. In 1995, amid Clinton-era austerity, Stargate's public facade crumbled. A CIA review by statistician Ray Hyman branded it ineffective, burying 20 years of triumphs under red tape. Yet this was theater. The program metastasized underground, rebranded as Intuitive Intelligence Applications, with McMoneagle's firm servicing corporate overlords anonymously. Black budgets, now trillions in crypto veins, funded splinter cells at Montauk Revivals and Denver's Mile High Labs, where psychic spies, veterans like Angela Della Fiora, the automatic writing witch, channeled automatic intel on missing children and market manipulations. Corruption peaked. Handlers auctioned session data to hedge funds, their occult bindings ensuring loyalty, while demonic feedback loops induced viewer suicides, echoes of MK Ultra's discarded husks. By the 2010s, as Snowden's leaks pierced surveillance veils, Stargate's legacy infiltrated the beast system, Neuralinks and 5G grids as modern gateways, harvesting soul data under health mandates. Remote viewing ops targeted hybrid abductees, confirming ancient alien pacts, reptilian overlords engineering pandemics to thin the herd, their Martian progenitors directing from shadow bases like Mount Hayes, emitters syncing human brains to collective thrall. Interdimensional mystery deepened. Sessions on CERN's ring evoked abyssal breaches, particles colliding to summon chronal demons, their appetites sated by global fear frequencies. The psychic remnants scattered in occult enclaves documented the harvest, billions ensnared in reincarnation traps, essences funneled to fuel the overlord's ascension. As 2025 unfolds with skies scarred by drone swarms and minds chipped for safety, underground Stargates pulse anew. Leaks from ex-viewers reveal the endgame, soul harvesting at scale via quantum entanglement arrays mimicking OBE flights, corralling essences for interdimensional export. Corruption's web spans Davos boardrooms to Antarctic vaults where Nazi-derived tech guards frozen Martian relics. The mystery endures, whispers of a final probe, viewers glimpsing 2030's veil lift, where ancient aliens return not as saviors, but reapers in familiar guises. December 2025 dawns under auroral veils, unnatural lights dancing as geomagnetic storms, induced or invited, rip open subtle rifts. Stargate's ghosts haunt AI oracles, their algorithms laced with viewer heuristics, predicting unrest while siphoning dream data into soul vaults. The beast system rises, digital IDs as Enochian seals, mandating fealty to a unified neural net where dissenters' psyches are remote probed for extraction. Corruption incarnate global elites, Rockefeller heirs, and tech messiahs convene in Davos cathedrals, invoking contacts via Stargate-derived apps, bartering human potential for extended reigns. Psychic spies, now freelance adepts in hidden communes, report visions of the Antichrist, a hybrid avatar, copper-skinned like Martian exiles, his throne a pyramidal nexus fusing CERN and Giza, channeling demonic legions through 6G sacraments. Interdimensional gateways yawn wider. Antarctic expeditions unearth obelisks humming with harvest hymns, their frequencies syncing to Hollywood's latest psyop, a messianic blockbuster veiling the figure's advent. Soul harvesting accelerates, abductions spike, graze as chronal drones culling genetic stock, funneling essences to overlord hives. MK Ultra's echoes resound in mandatory therapies, subliminals awakening latent gifts only to bind them. Viewers conscripted into beast service, their OBE flights hijacked for reconnaissance on resistors. The mystery coils, ancient aliens, once refugees, now puppeteers, their sorcery entwined with abyssal pacts, engineering humanity's fall as tribute to the void. Occult sorcery permeates the apparatus. Elite covens, Stargate alumni among them, perform chronal rites to summon the figure, promising utopia but delivering chains. Demonic contacts swarm the ether, masquerading as ascended masters, guiding policy toward transhuman fusion, souls digitized, harvested eternally. As polar melts reveal submerged pyramids, the agenda crystallizes, a global beast, Antichrist crowned, where free will's embers are quenched in interdimensional forges, humanity's legacy reduced to fuel for cosmic engines. In the shadowed years post-2025, as the beast system's horns gnarl into every interface, Stargate's final evolutions birth the reckoning. Chronal probes, refined in lunar black sites, pierce 2040's veil. A solar micronova, engineered or eschatological, scorches the cradle world, forcing survivors into arc cities where neural implants enforce hive mind stasis. Soul farms yielding to ancient alien harvesters, their Martian pyramids reactivated as collection hubs. The Antichrist, enthroned in a Jerusalem nexus fused from Temple Mount relics and quantum gates, broadcast sermons laced with Enochian code. compelling billions to surrender essence for immortality, a lie veiling reincarnation's abyss, corruption's apotheosis, elites augmented with viewer graphs, Lord as archons, their pacts with demonic choirs ensuring dominion amid the flames. Yet mystery begets fracture. Rogue psychic enclaves, guardians of untainted CRV, launch counterprobes, viewing 2050's rebellion, where awakened hybrids shatter gateways, banishing overlords to Chronal exiles. Hollywood's swan song, a disclosure epic scripted by AI seers, fractures the illusion, unveiling MK Ultra's heirs as the true invaders. Interdimensional war erupts, tic-tac armadas clashing with abyssal swarms, souls as ammunition in battles across bubble realities where time folds like origami under sorcery's weight. Ancient aliens return en masse, their copper fleets demanding the harvest accrued over eons, only to face humanity's latent fury. Gifts once weaponized, now turned against the weavers. Eternity's horizon gleams with bifurcated fates. The faithful, their essences armored by forgotten rites, ascend through rifts to sovereign realms, shattering the wheel. The ensnared, bound in beastly simulacra, fuel endless cycles, a cautionary echo for any who pierce the veil without wisdom. Thus, Project Stargate endures not as relic, but prophecy, a corrupted key to mysteries that devour their wielders, leaving the cosmos to whisper of souls harvested and those who slip the net. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this and would like to see more, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell so you are notified when a new video is dropped. Until next time, uncover the truth and question the past.